Whoa! Whew. Man, this game can be intense at times. Cheese, I think we need to have a talk. A talk? Oh, jeez, I didn't do anything wrong, did I? Oh, no, of course not. I'm just worried about you, man. Is there anything you want to tell me? No, there's nothing wrong with me. Oh, really? Do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the PlayStation 3? Because it was my first time experiencing that game. Do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the PlayStation 4? For the special edition, of course. Do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the towel? To get rid of the sweat after fighting a dragon. Do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the protein powder? To get muscular with the lads. Do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the coffee machine? God, this is heavy! To make sure all the Nords are not thirsty. But more importantly, do you want to explain why you have Skyrim for the PC? What? I'm not playing Skyrim for the PC. Well, of course you are. You're playing it right now. Okay, yeah, maybe there is something wrong with me.
RPG games have always been a favourite of mine, right next to 3D platformers and racing genres. And when you hear about somebody mentioning RPG games, some people automatically think of Bethesda Studios and their love for the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series. Most commonly known out of the bunch is Skyrim. Hell, Skyrim is pretty much everywhere you go, and Todd Howard encourages fans to buy every copy on every console. Otherwise, Todd might get a little bit upset. So today I'll be talking about the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and see if it's a game still worth playing to this very day. So with that said, let's begin. Skyrim opens up with you waking up with a bunch of Stormcloaks, with their leader being Ulfric Stormcloak. It's not like one of those one-night stands or anything like that, so don't get it twisted, son. The Stormcloaks are a faction that's standing up to the Imperials because they only want the Nords to live in Skyrim. You're taken by the Imperials to a castle called Helgen where you and the others will be executed. You don't know why or how you got here, but it seems like there's no escape from this. Although I do get this guy staring at me, and can you not, it's creeping me out. You make it to your destination and oh my god, will NPCs stop staring at me? This is the part where you can create your character, and I do enjoy the character creation here. It's much more in-depth than the previous game's Oblivion. You can customize the facial look, there's more options with hair and beards, and you can make your character muscular or skinny. And I don't know what character to make, so I just speedrunned it and named him Johnny Depp. You're lined up to be executed, and before your head gets chopped off, in comes a fire-breathing dragon named Alduin, who is the one in command of all dragons. The prophecy came true, and the dragons are back in Skyrim. Depending on who you side with, either the Imperials or the Stormcloaks, you do witness some random dude enjoying a free ride up in the sky. Anyhow, you somehow make it out alive while Helgen gets burned to ashes. You get guided to a small town called Riverwood, and the story progresses from there. You later learn about the Dragonborn story arc and only how a Dragonborn can kill a dragon. And just in time for a cliche, you happen to be the chosen one to stop Alduin, as later on you obtained a power from the wall, killed a dragon and absorbed its power. So along with some help from your buddies along the way, you try your best to kill Alduin and stop the dragon invasion. Now, I can't help but compare the story in Skyrim with Oblivion's. It seems like Bethesda has a foot fetish for a player to start the game as a prisoner, which is a strange topic of its own, and then being the chosen one to stop the invasion. But instead of the Oblivion invasion, you have to stop the dragon invasion. Regardless, I do dig the story here, even though it feels like a copy and paste. Sure, the main quest lines are different in comparison, but I don't know, I just felt deja vu when playing through the story. I'll say that the graphics are pretty good. Even in 2021 in some areas, the game still manages to look really nice. I enjoyed the details in the water, and the weather change from a bright sunny day to a dark stormy night looks cool too. I do feel this game at some parts does look a bit outdated, and I think to really make the entire game stand out in terms of design, it could really use some graphic mods to make it more modern. And I was going to use some, but I thought to myself that it wouldn't be fair for the video, so I left it out.
And this brings us to the combat segments. Let's see what Skyrim has to offer.
Yeah! Woo! Combat! Yeah! Are you going to fight back? Okay then. GG. The gameplay side of things is pretty straightforward. If you're familiar with the Oblivion's gameplay, then Skyrim will be a walk in the park. When you encounter an enemy, you can defeat it by using your sword, axe, magic abilities, bow and arrow, and even using your shouts. You can also block your attacks by using a shield or sword, and you can even hold 2 swords at once, which is cool. The combat is okay, but very simple, and could have been a bit better in my opinion. I'm not exactly a fan of pressing the same button during fighting games, and the combat can easily get repetitive. You walk up to an enemy, spam the attack button, and that's it. Every now and then you do see cutscenes on the enemy's death, but seeing the same animation again and again can get boring. You can make the combat interesting by mixing up your fighting style and even turning the difficulty higher to spice it up a bit, which I do recommend as the combat does feel more interesting and gets you on the edge of your seat. But if there's one advice I can give, is whatever you do, don't kill the chicken. Because it's a crime to kill one in Skyrim. It doesn't matter if you're gonna starve to death and chickens are the only food you have left to keep on living, do not kill the chickens. Also, try not to attack the giant early on, otherwise this will happen as well. After the tutorial segment, you can follow the person to Riverwood to continue the story, or you can pretty much do whatever you want from here on out. And of course, there's a ton of options to do on the fly, like talking to characters, finding different locations, completing quests, or just mucking around. Hey Hadvar, guess what I found? I found a bucket! Yeah, I know, it's a pretty cool bucket. Do you want to wear it? Okay, I'll see if I can just put it on for you. Try to stand still, alright? Oh. It didn't work. How about you, good sir? Would you care for a bucket? Oh, fuck it. Of course you have the main quest, as well as the side quest and the faction quest as well. And to be perfectly honest, the quests that you do in Skyrim in your spare time, they're not great. They're fine, but not great. Let's start with the faction quest. Throughout your adventure, you can visit and join certain groups like the Companions, the Thieves Guild, the College of Winterhold, the Civil War between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks, and the Dark Brotherhood. It's cool to see you rank up as you go along, from a rookie learning the ropes to eventually becoming the leader of that faction. The storylines are okay, but I do think it's pretty simple and could have been fleshed out a lot more. And what I mean by that is they could do a lot more storytelling and interesting moments to really spice things up. The Thieves Guild is probably my favorite questline in Skyrim because of the interesting storytelling. Remember in Oblivion when you join the Dark Brotherhood and one of the quests involves you entering a house with 5 other people looking for treasure, but the catch is, there is no treasure and you've been hired to kill all the 5 residents, and you witness a lot of storytelling and multiple ways to end the quest. Well, in Skyrim, you don't really get those types of quests, as the faction quest is just mainly hand-holding you to the end. There is one quest where you do get multiple options, and that's when you have to kill Victoria in one of the Dark Brotherhood quests, but it's not as fleshed out as I hoped it to be. I did enjoy playing through them, but comparing the factions to Oblivion's, of course Oblivion wins by a mile. The side quests are cool as well, but the majority of them are fetch quests. You know, someone loses an item, you enter a cave to fight enemies, you find the item and bring it back to be rewarded with coins and special armor. Hey buddy, you forgot your axe. Do you want it back?
Ow! Johnny! That really hurt!
Okay, I'm guessing you got it. I don't have a problem with the fetch quests every now and then, but the problem in Skyrim is the fetch quests are too damn repetitive. Every city I go to, every encounter I meet when I'm just casually walking, They'll talk about their item being lost or stolen and you have to find them. It's just annoying to see it all the time. Not every quest is bad though. I do like the Daedra quest lines, those are pretty fun. And I also like the whole murder mystery in Windhelm and you have to solve the case on who did it. I just wish I could see those types of quests more often here. While I'm at it with the role-playing side of things, I'll say that the characters you get to talk to are sometimes cool, but most of them aren't really interesting. My favorite character definitely has to be Cicero. He's very full of energy. That's probably the best way to describe him without spoiling anything. And when you read his diary to learn more about him, you notice some noteworthy moments to understand why he's like this. The landmarks are cool to look at, and it's pretty, Wait, are you guys staring at me? God damn it, what is up with characters staring at me awkwardly in Skyrim? But you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm gonna go to a place where no one can disturb me.
You know what? Yeah, this is nice. Wow, it feels really good to be up here with zero interruptions whatsoever.
Ulfred, patron of the great clan Battleborn, a name I'm sure you know well.
Okay, that does it! What I was saying is that the landmarks are nice to look at and it's awesome to explore around, and when you see something cool from a distance, you can't help but see what it is. You can check out the main cities, caves, empty castles being taken over by the bandits, rivers, and the throat of the world, which is the highest mountain in Skyrim. But that's only just naming a few. There's plenty more places to check out, and the only way to do that is by exploring around. I'll also add that going through the snow areas are pretty nice. Not only it looks good, but I love how the snow can be used as a positive and negative way. The positive side being a bright, peaceful setting with beautiful music in the background, while the negative side being a blizzard, hard to see while enemies are nearby, and you have an intense soundtrack along with it. Speaking of music, despite this game being released in 2011, the soundtrack still holds up well. The OST just never gets old no matter how many times I hear it, and I love the different ranges of music you can listen to throughout the game. Even the main menu's music really does hit you hard as soon as you start the game. I guess the final topic to discuss is the dragon gameplay. The way they build it up early on in Skyrim, it must be an epic showdown, so I'm pretty keen. Let's do it to it.
Come on. Yeah, this is boring.
I don't like the whole dragon fighting here. I think the biggest problem is that there's nothing unique or special about it. A dragon flies over you, then you hope it lands and you get to attack it, then the dragon will fly off so you have to wait again, until eventually it'll die as you deliver the final blow, and I'm not sure if that's a glitch when Johnny Depp was standing on air, but I thought this part was weird. You do unlock a shout called Dragon Rend, which using that shout will force the dragon to stay on the ground, but then it just makes the whole fight easier and you're just standing there in one spot button mashing until you win. Maybe they could have added the ability for you to hold onto the dragon while flying and attack it from mid-air. That'll be cool. But then again, it would require some programming, and I'm not sure if Bethesda is capable of doing that. Even the Alduin boss fight is just another dragon fight as all the others, but trying to avoid the acorns falling from the sky. Chicken Little reference, haha. So that was Skyrim, and there are some areas that are pretty outdated, but is it a terrible game? No, not exactly. But it's not great either. As expected with Bethesda video games, you will encounter some bugs and glitches here and there, like the one where the troll got stuck and I just used my bow to kill him off. The side quests and characters could have been worked on a lot more to make them interesting for my taste, as well as the fighting gameplay could have been better for both dragons and regular enemy types as well. But it is so damn impressive to see this game is nearly a decade old, but yet it looks great. The exploration is wonderful, and the music sounds really nice and helps complement the entire role-playing experience.
So with that said, I'm gonna give Skyrim a score of 6 out of 10. Definitely something to keep your eyes on if you are interested in what the hype is all about, but to be really honest, there are a few better RPG games out there to play rather than Skyrim. But regardless, it still, even to this day, remains as one of the top talking games of this year, and really, you can't really judge a game until you give it a try. But anyways, thank you for watching this review, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the links will be down in the description box below. My name is Cheese and Crackers, telling you to keep calm, and do not let anyone take your sweet roll. Because if they do, just, give them one of these.
Rudolph!